Hey guys, so this is awesome. I just gonna do a vlog just so I can talk about it because I gotta talk about it. I met Alda today. So he released a new book last week, and he did a signing at the Barnes and Noble in Union Square. And obviously, when I found out he was doing that, I was like, I gotta go because he's my all-time favorite actor. And I mean, what chance am I gonna have? When am I gonna get another chance? Especially considering what seems to be a trend of happening on New Year's Eve is we keep losing MASH actors. We lost Wayne Rogers, and then we lost William Christopher this past year. So I figured no time like the present. So he was doing a signing for his new book, If I Understood You, Would I Have This Look on My Face, which is about communication. And so he gave a talk about it. And it was honestly fascinating to me because it kind of gave me a lot to think about. He talked about communicating and how he started having empathy for people. He would have empathy, and it made him less annoyed by people. Like, a cab driver was a little snappy, but he had empathy. Having been a cab driver, he knew what they go through, so he thought, I'll be nice to the guy. You know, the cab driver was snappy, like, what are the cross streets? And he was like, I'll look it up on my iPhone. And the guy was like, you're very nice. And it made him less annoyed by people. And as someone who is constantly annoyed by people, people walk too slow, people, they take up a whole street with their conversation. They stop in the middle of the street, and, like, it annoys me, and, like, people interact with me, and, like, and things happen, something happened to my mom at work, and she's angry, or, someone, did something, and it occurred to me that I think I'm going to try that out. I'm going to try out empathy and see if that will make me less of a stressed out person. But more about this. So, I don't know if I've mentioned this in my Comic-Con videos, but when I meet someone that I admire, I get tongue-tied because this is someone I admire, and I usually attempt to rehearse what I'm going to say, and I observe what people before me do, and that allows me to do it. So I obviously did it for this. I rehearsed what I wanted to say. I conveniently left out the fact that I dedicated 4 videos on my channel, a whole month, to him. But I said, MASH is my all-time favorite show, he is my all-time favorite actor, and I thanked him for rekindling my love of science, because I do love science, but it was tested out of me in school. Like, in school, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but, because of the show, Strange Days at Blake Halsey High and the character of Professor Zachary, when I was a kid, when I was relatively young, like, I wanted to be a science teacher, and I wanted to, learn science, but it just, eventually in the school, they're not really promoting it the way that they should, and I just lost the motivation to like science. But having read his 2 previous books and specifically what he said about Richard Feynman, it made me really love science again, and I obviously wanted to thank him for that. And, he signed the book, right here. And I read a couple chapters of the book while I was waiting for it to start, and it's a very, very good book, and it was very, very interesting. I'm trying to find the right words to say because it was, and it's amazing. The thing with Alda is he can tell the same story 12 times, and I'll still laugh. He told the story about when he was in Chile, and he had a problem with his intestines, and they had to do a surgery on him, and it was a thing. And he's told that story. I heard it in the audiobook, the print book. He mentioned it in the beginning of his other book. I've seen countless interviews where he has told the exact same story in different ways, and it still makes me laugh. And I mean, being in the same room with him was, it was exhilarating because he is my all-time favorite actor. And, you know, they say don't meet your heroes. Those people are wrong, because Alan Alda, very nice in person. Obviously, I didn't get to have a long conversation with him, because, you know, it was a book signing and there were a lot of people behind me. I kept it short and sweet, and, you know, and I have a picture with him that I will put on the screen now, which is my new favorite picture. If you have already seen it, you probably saw it on Twitter or Tumblr. He didn't do post photos, but I went with my dad, who was also an Alan Alda fan. My dad, when he was growing up, two of his favorite shows were MASH and Star Trek, which are two of my favorite shows, so that's something that we bond over. Star Trek, the original series, I should say, and that's something we bond over, so I asked him to go with me, because what other chance is he going to get? And he had fun, and he took the picture, and it was great. He did this thing where he did where he was talking about improv exercises. I don't know if they're gonna post it online somewhere, or if but he did a similar thing on Live with Ryan and Kelly, Live with Kelly and Ryan, I guess, because he's the new guy. And, you know, he did similar things that he did on that. Obviously, normally I wouldn't watch that show. Alan Alda was on it. I watch anything that Alan Alda does an interview on, so, but it was amazing, and I've been looking forward to this for a while, but I didn't want to really tell anyone, because I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want it to just get canceled the day before or something, so, but it was the best, and, you know, as a 20, almost 21-year-old, I shouldn't have a bucket list. I had a bucket list. It was meet Alan Alda, and that was it. So, you know, I obviously don't intend to, but I will die happy when I do die, because I got to do the one thing I wanted to do, and I am so looking forward to reading this book. Don't know if I'll be able to do a review of it, because it's more so, you know, it's not necessarily narrative, and I'm still figuring out how to do narratives of, you know, how to do non-narrative books in the new format, so, you know, we'll see how that goes, but honestly, it was a great day, and, you know, I got to meet Alan Alda, and I'm so happy that I did. It was, you know, it was fantastic. So, anyway, I'm basically gonna tread on the same thing over and over, to sum up the video. I got to meet my all-time favorite actor today, and I got a book signed by him, and he was extremely nice in person and didn't end up being a jerk, and yeah, so today was a fantastic day for me. So, if you like this video, there's not really a lot more like it, but I have countless reviews and other videos on the channel, vlogs, let's plays, etc., etc. So if you're interested in those, you can check those out if you ended up here from searching the words Alan Alda. And I will see you in the next video. See you then. Thank you all for watching, and if you liked the video, you can hit subscribe and watch one of my other videos. My videos can be found on any of these fine sites, and if you want to help out, maybe consider supporting the show on Patreon. See you next time.